Tom, we're back to the live action video reviews. We have a group of videos. I don't know, 3, 4, 6. I don't remember. So someone is coming in with a gun. And someone had his own gun. That is just about the smoothest draw from a seated position. And did he have to run the slide?
I like how he checks to make sure the bullet's seated. Is that what he did?
Yeah, this is the wrong place to rob.
2. So I see 2 shots. That's a heck of a smooth draw. Weird that he does a press check. And when exactly is he pulling that second shot there? Again, if I'm a prosecutor, I'm not charging this.
Yeah.
But there are prosecutors who will.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I'm still watching as, you know, the bad guy comes out with the gun and he just wants to rob everybody up and down the line. And our hero is in the perfect position.
1, 2.
2 shots.
Yeah.
Threat neutralized.
So if the bad guy still has a weapon, right, then that's obviously going to be your best argument for why you to keep shooting. Because even though he was physically disengaging, the threat very much remains, provided he is a projectile weapon, right? And even if it's an edged weapon, you then got the reactionary gap principle. Now the prosecutor's got he's got 1 bullet in his wherever the medical examiner says it was lodged principle, which appears to be maybe the abdomen somewhere based on how he reacted to that shot, the first shot. And
he didn't shoot him in the back. The guy didn't turn around to run. He could have been coming to engage again. And looks to me like he does have a firearm. It's kind of grainy out there.
2. The second one might be in the back.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he does pivot just a little bit right there, but.
Yeah. But that also just goes to show you the importance of a video camera, right? Because otherwise, what is the medical examiner going to say? Oh, well, he shot him once in the back. You know, the fatal wound was to the back, right? Or something like that. And then that's what the prosecutor is going to roll with. Now, thankfully here, we've got good news and bad news here. The bad news is the second shot's a bit later than we would prefer to eliminate the unreasonable prosecutor test, right? I'm just going to call this an unreasonable prosecutor test.
And it's sad that we have to have an unreasonable prosecutor test. All the other stuff we're talking about in a self-defense incident, and then an unreasonable prosecutor.
Well, I don't think it's going to pass the unreasonable prosecutor test. I think it passes the reasonable prosecutor test. I would not be super surprised if an aggressive prosecutor charges this, who's anti-gun and motivated to make a point. And I just hope that the good guy with the gun is ready and prepared for that and knows how to handle the police and understands the importance of a good attorney.
And I like how he immediately goes into action. He's not waiting around going, what's going on here? I don't understand. Why does this man have a gun? He knows what's happening and takes some action for that.
But I'm trying to figure out what gun he has. I mean, it looks like maybe a SIG 229 or something like that.
I'm going to go that this is somewhere in South America, and that's a Taurus G2 or G3. All right. Let's look at the next video. So, got the ferns on the porch.
We know it's inclusive.
Oh.
And we got the frying pan.
That's an impact weapon and a pursuit. And the pursuit comes back around to the front. And the police are there. And they sent the police after him, and he's helping in the foot pursuit. And the dog is just wagging his tail and being happy. I don't know anything about this video, Tom, other than...
Hang on, back up to the very beginning. What's in his left hand?
I don't know.
Looks like a bottle.
Yeah, bottle of, let's call it whiskey.
Some fighting juice.
There we go. Bottle of bad decisions. He jumps down all 5 steps. Runs over there and probably meets the dog.
10-inch, 12-inch frying pan.
And some time off camera while they're discussing opportunities and options. And he comes back and gets 1 shot with the fry pan. And
the police are right there.
So was the call made earlier? Did they're arriving on scene, or did they just happen to be on foot patrol walking through the area?
Right. Maybe the neighbor heard yells and made a call.
Based on what I'm seeing here, I don't know why one person is chasing the other. I can't tell you if the guy with the frying pan is the aggressor or the defender or anything of that nature. He's certainly in pursuit, and I'm going to say if the bad guy's running away, let him run away. I mean, had he not chased him to the gate, the bad guy would have gotten out the gate and been no danger, or the fleeing subject would have gotten to the gate and been no danger to anyone outside.
Okay, so you're right. There's a tremendous amount we don't know, but there's actually a number of lessons we can unpack for this. So one is you're chasing someone with the frying pan. At what point do you have to stop chasing them with the frying pan, right? And I don't care if this is a cast iron situation, if it's well seasoned, maybe it's non-stick, I don't know. Maybe you got a stainless, don't know, okay? I'm gonna treat it like it's all the same. But the bottom line here is that, look, I can see an unreasonable prosecutor trying to classify that as a weapon that could be deadly. Because generally speaking, if you go wide angle and you look at a lot of state statutes, the definition of a deadly weapon could be a weapon that's capable of producing death or great bodily harm. Great bodily harm is effectively almost anything beyond a bruise, bump, scratch.
But we have to call it the intentional use, Tom. The
Right.
intentional use. So if this person with the frying pan says, I was just trying to hit him in the arm to get him to drop the bottle, and he moved, and I hit him in the head, and then he died. You know, I think there's some gray area there. We can argue that.
Well, and maybe reasonable or unreasonable prosecutors can. The issue is that if you break someone's arm, one of the tests for great bodily harm is going to be if it causes the protracted loss or impairment of a limb or organ. So frying pan, you know, maybe not your weak, you know, your weak, I don't know how to use stainless or cast iron, you know, your non-stick guys can, I mean, that's not bad form there. You can see his arm kind of flops to the side. All right, so we got this one principle. If you're chasing someone with a frying pan, at what point are you defending yourself from chasing someone out? Maybe they're a home invader, maybe something went south, you don't know, right? But the point is, he's running away, and you're still chasing him. Is that a reasonable use of force? So I think that that's gonna be one big problem. A question to help determine this is gonna be two different things. One is, well, aside from the obvious, which is who called 911, what did they say, why is this happening? But one's gonna be who owns this home, right? Who's renting or owns this home? Because that's gonna automatically put you on the legal high ground, so to speak, right? That's one important thing. Now, it's not gonna save you if you're out there just trying to stab a guest or something for no particular reason. Now, second thing to keep in mind here is what's going on with the gentleman with the frying pan, because he also winds up involving law enforcement right there at the scene and immediately identifies the other guy as somehow getting away.
Yeah, go
cops
get him.
got to go get that guy, right? So we've got one question of why are the cops on the scene, but number two, he immediately recruits them to their side, and now we've literally and figuratively pointed the investigation at that's the bad guy, go get him, right? Now, we don't know what he's shouting to law enforcement. We also don't know if this camera actually is audio and it just didn't make it to the internet with audio. We don't know why 911 might be there. And we don't know if the other guy was armed. Maybe he dropped his weapon in the house. We just do not know. Maybe there was threatening words, speech, you name it. But I don't like the fact that we are chasing him all over the yard rather than stopping at the top of the stoop and letting him escape. Maybe there's a weapon off camera. Maybe his car is parked. Now, maybe that's his car right there, parked at the end of the driveway. Maybe he's got access to a weapon on the inside of the fence and the inside of the enclosure. I don't know, and therefore there's a reason why I want to chase him over there. A lot of I don't knows, but I'm not a super big fan of chasing him with the frying pan all the way down the stoop and around the yard. Maybe it's protection of his dog, protection of property over there, right? Oh, I don't want him to go kick the dog. But again, without talking to him, it's a pile of I don't knows. And that's a question mark with some potentially ugly ramifications at the end of it.
Yes, because the frying pan, and no matter what it's made of, can be a deadly weapon.
Right.
It also can be a defensive weapon.
Right.
So we're, again, it shows that video, while helpful, does not give us the whole story.
The best defensive weapons are always deadly weapons, right? So the fact that it's a deadly weapon isn't the end of the issue. The issue, of course, is do they have the lawful right to be wielding it as a deadly weapon?
Let's go on to the third video. Tom, we're back at the gas station, which, 3 in the morning or whenever this, I'm looking for a timestamp, I don't see it there, whenever this happened, but here is security footage at the gas station, and some folks are chatting.
We got a Volvo station wagon, so you know something's about to go down.
Frat boys, so, yeah. Guy runs up. No, I'm out. I'm leaving. Leave me alone. So now we're fighting over the gun. And it's not going well for the guy with the gun. And now his friend decides to join in.
Wow, who's that friend from the Volvo guy? Is just standing there
Yeah, the guy in the red shirt
trying
was
to
just
de-escalate it?
Get him, get him. He didn't do anything. His friends watching this video are going to give him a hard time.
I hope they do.
Where's the gun?
Because we're literally scrambling and fighting for our lives, and you're willing to just stand by.
Did one guy's on? Oh,
right,
there's somebody who's got the gun. Okay. So.
What is he trying to? I didn't do anything. What do you want from me? I didn't do anything.
Shoot me?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Nope. Let him. I would be getting out of there because you don't know if there's more guns in the car.
Exactly. Or if there's another car.
Yep. So a clear-cut case that fighting backs sometimes helps, but there was some very ineffective fighting going on in that situation.
And it's also another lesson for why, if you have a gun defensively, you don't try to go up and arrest the person or something like that. Because the guy with the gun, and let's just assume it's a real gun, let's assume it's got real bullets and it's loaded, and he was willing to use it. The fact of the matter is that he got swamped pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. And they took his gun away from him.
Now, another thing you got to remember, this friend that comes in, the shirtless guy, this guy knows how to fight on the street, right? Because he instantly knows what to do. I'm going to hit this guy. I'm going to move him off. And the victims here, I mean, what are they just trying to do? Like wrestle him?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get control of the gun. And there he got it. You can see him right there. He pulled the gun away from him. And he's got it in his hands now. And I'm glad no shots were fired because I don't think anything right here now immediately rises to an imminent deadly threat.
They're retreating. You can make the argument that we don't know if they're going to go back to the car to get weapons. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's
Yeah, I mean, it's Sunday morning, 3:30 in the morning, so nothing good ever happens.
Nothing good happens, yeah.
Yep. And now here's the debate stage.
Right.
I don't.
Give me back the gun.
Yeah.
That's mine. You took it. Stop stealing from me.
And get out of here. And okay. Yeah, this is now the guy in the dark red shirt decides to step up and
be the hero
and be helpful.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether or not the good guys were trying to tell him, "Don't move, don't get in your car," or something like that, which can really be scary.
Yeah, I don't want them taking anybody into custody, but this is also a lesson in situational awareness. 3 in the morning, kind of have somebody on the lookout. It's good that they got extra guys there, but this could have gone very badly right there from the beginning. And I don't know what was going on with the bad guy and his gun, if he had no round in the chamber, or maybe he didn't have any ammo, he just had a gun, or maybe he just wasn't really willing to shoot someone. He thought he was just going to threaten them and get the wallets.
Yeah, he doesn't really know how to throw a punch, the guy in the blue shirt.
And right now it's just a scrum. It's just, there the guy in the pink gets hold of the gun and takes it away.
Yeah, the guy at the gun's just, he's basically like, GG, good game, I'm out of here. Yeah, it's the cost of doing business when you're a robber. Sometimes you lose your gun.
I guess, yeah. Especially the 4-on-2 kind of situation that they ran into.
And this is also the reason why robbers generally don't target groups. He must have thought that they were going to be maybe drunk at this time, on a Saturday night, early Sunday morning. He's looking for soft targets. Don't make yourself look like a soft target.
Right.
3 guys bunched up with another one in the car.
Yeah.
young kids or the young adults.
And we see at least one guy showing up there to call 911. He's got the phone out and he's getting on the phone. I want to remind people, fight first, win the fight, and then get the phone out right away. I mean, the guy in the red shirt who did absolutely nothing in the fight could have been calling 911 somewhere along the time while he was hiding.
Yeah.
But that guy in the blue pulling out his phone, I'm glad he was on the phone calling 911. Hopefully the cops will be there within 20 minutes or so. But you could see that a lot of bad things could have happened in that time.
Right. At that point, the fight's over. Well, it just goes to show you again, calling 911 isn't going to solve this situation.
Right.
Because by the time the police arrive, those guys are gone. It's probably a stolen car, so the plates aren't going to get you anywhere.
Yeah. And
at least that, and I say that based on experience, just so we're clear. Robbers aren't going to go up to a gas station, which we know have cameras, and just going to rob you with the license plate that goes back to their home.
Right.
Right. Like that's probably not a thing.
they've planned that through. And maybe, you know what? Everybody should have a little bit of self-defense training, like you say. Learn how to throw a punch and make sure that you're doing the right thing, or at least feel confident enough to get involved and help your friends. I'm still angry with the guy in the red shirt.
Well, a wise man, I'm going to call him Kevin M., once said, and it's hard to believe, Kevin, we've been doing this now for darn near 10 years. That's
almost a decade.
Yeah. A wise man once said that the body can only go where the mind has already been.
Right.
Did I quote you right on that?
It's close. The body cannot go where the mind hasn't been.
Okay. All right. So clearly one of two things. The young man in red who did nothing to help his friends, he either was completely mentally unprepared for what to do, or he just doesn't have that dog in him.
Right. He's never been in a fight.
He's never been. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to react, or he's never going to be the fighter type. One or the other. But yeah, no, I hope he's buying his friends.
And right now he's still got his hands up. He should be calling 911.
He should be doing something. Yeah. Rather than still surrendering the guy that his three friends are fighting with on the ground for the gun.
Or at least get in the way of this guy coming to throw the body block.
That just goes to, he's in shock right there. That just goes to show you, this is very real. People, and you know what? That guy surrendering back at the Volvo right now, that could have been the guy with the first degree black belt with, all that, probably isn't, but you get my idea. That could have been the biggest armchair commander of, I'm the badass, I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna be going and doing all this stuff. You just don't know.
Yeah, but it's clear that he never really thought about what he would do if he was attacked.
Right.
Or maybe he did. I'm just going to give up and give him my wallet and everything's going to be okay. But clearly, it's not going to be okay. There's a fight going on right now. So, not a whole lot to judge. Which one of these would you most want to defend? If each of these three people called you up and said, "Tom, we need a defense attorney," which one is going to be the one that you say, yeah, that's going to be the easiest case for me to defend?
The third one. The gas station robbery where they get control of the firearm. Other than picking on the guy who could have done more, no one's overdoing it here. It's not like they're shooting at the guys who are running away. They did everything. If you're going to be aggressive, they did it. They weren't too aggressive. They didn't break the law at all. They're through and through victims. I don't see whether a reasonable or an unreasonable prosecutor going after them for anything. God forbid.
All right. Well, thanks again for your insight, Tom. Always fun watching these videos with you.
Thanks, Kevin, for another smoke show.
Did you know we have a secret gun giveaway going on right now? You can enter for free, but it ends really soon. Just click the link in the description below to reveal which brand new gun you could win.